Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Putting my computer on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Hello. Got one more minute and then I'm going to start. We got to start a little jam. Get everyone amped up to talk about diets. Heck yeah. I make myself laugh. Even when I'm talking to the ether, I make myself laugh. That's how you know you're killing it. No, I'm just kidding. I'll wait for one more minute just to let anybody else in real quick, and then we'll get to it. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a good night? Leave comments. Don't be shy. If you have questions, obviously, throughout the little webinar here, then feel free to ask them. And yeah. And if I miss something, I'll have Anna, if she's out there right now, I'll have her write the question out and we can go from there. All right, looks like some people are coming in, so let me mute this and I will get started. How's everyone doing? All right, we're going to talk about fad diets because I think a lot of people, I know I used to be, guys, when I was in my 20s, I was lost in the sauce. Thought I knew everything about diets. I thought, I would research something and I would be like, yeah, I'm going to do that one. Or, obviously we all know the keto craze and we all know all about that stuff. And obviously there's pros and cons to each one, right? However, there are ways and there are times that I've researched and obviously that I have learned through my mentors and through classes that these are actually diets that you should be using at specific times. Now, there are things like obviously the carnivore diet, that's a huge craze right now, is great, right? It is great. And I was on it myself and I saw a lot of really awesome results. But again, like anything, it has a time and a place and it's actually utilized for reasons. And then there are reasons why you start adding other things into your diet, okay? Before I start, if you're here, if you could like this, and spread it out far and wide. We're just trying to spread the message of health, education, and that's today's message, is just like, let's demystify some of these things. And if you all have questions, please ask. Don't be afraid. I will, if something is part of the conversation in the moment, I will obviously answer it. But the whole point of today is to throw out education and to bring more we're really trying to clear up the air with some of this stuff as we learn, and there's more information coming out all the time. And that's what Anna and I are here for, is we are here. I know she completely agrees with me when I say this, is that information is coming out at this point on a daily basis. And it's our job to not only use it, but also discern it and go, that's really great information and we should use that for specific people, or that doesn't really make sense. So thanks, Dawn. Really appreciate that. If you guys want to share it on Facebook, please go for it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to dive right in. And hey, Maddie. And so I want you guys to realize that the whole point of all diets in general is to create metabolic flexibility, right? That's the whole point of it. It's not to stay on one diet for the rest of your life and eat the same thing all day long. That is actually bad for you. It's actually, it can create a problem, and it can actually create, thanks, Thomas. It can actually create a bit of a problem in the gut, because what happens is that those foods begin to putrefy in your gut. They begin to overgrow bacteria in the gut. And on top of that, they actually begin to cause your body to look at that food specifically as a toxin, right? So it actually isn't working in your benefit. It's actually working against you. I will give a prime example of this. I know a lot of people who eat eggs on a daily basis. I know I did, and I do specifically, here and there. But I know people who were eating them every day, all day long. And, until we got to the bottom of it, they were like, every time they ate, every time they did, and because that was the major part of their diet, they would go crazy. Like their organs would go nuts. But they didn't realize that it was because the egg itself was actually causing an issue. And it's not to say that it's always going to be there forever, right? And that's the problem I think a lot of people get into, is that they think, that thing is bad. No, what that thing is right now is it's a toxin to your body. It's your system, I should say, is currently looking at that food item as a toxin, right? It's not looking at it as food. It's looking at it as toxicity. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to get people out of, and if you guys are listening, I'm trying to get you all out of thinking as foods as good and bad, because really what it is, it's your body trying to work and trying to, and again, this is where we got a little messed up a couple decades ago, in that we think the body is just a set of organs and, one thing does one thing. Your body is a system, right? And the point of the system is to work. So food isn't the enemy. There's a lot of other things that are the enemy that we will get into, okay? So I just want you guys to realize that the point of all diets, right? We have carnivore, we have keto, we have vegetarian, we have fasting, we have Mediterranean, we have the restrictive, which is where you count calories, all these things, right? All of these things have a time and a place. So, but the point of them is to be able to fluctuate between them so that you are in a healthy state with them versus obsessive and addictive and scared of food. And yes, Dawn, homeostasis is the goal. Correct, right? We want your body to be in a calm state, to be able to adjust temperature. Like, think of your body as a temperature gauge, right? It should be able to adjust temperature. Exactly right. And not feel like, I'm panicking now. I have to work harder. It should be fine. Okay. So our current health status and our current country's health status is, this is the reason why all of these diets currently are either one, not working, or why they feel like why food feels impossible. It's not because of I should say this. It's not really because of the food. It's because of what's been how they've been manipulating the food. That is the actual issue, right? The herbicides, the sugar, the additives, the toxicity levels, the metals, all of these things, you guys, are why your body is freaking out and why you can't lose weight, why your system can't function properly, why you can't wake up, why you can't go to sleep, why you feel miserable, why your mood fluctuates. It's not the food, really. Like, when you really look at food, it's not the food, it's the manipulation of the food, right? If you were to, and this is where it's interesting, right? I talk to people about this all the time. When you go from eating a highly processed diet, right? Anything, chips, cookies, cakes, pasta, bread, all that stuff. When you go from that to eating anything unprocessed for any manner of time, of course you're going to feel better, right? Of course you are. It could be pescatarian, it could be keto, vegetarian, vegan, it doesn't matter. What people forget is that, oh, wow, I'm losing weight. Well, the reason why you lost weight, or the reason why you got healthier, was actually because you just started cutting out the processed food. So I think what we can all agree on at this point is processed food is the bad thing, right? It's the cookies and the cakes and all those things with added sugars that are causing a world of depression, of confusion, of all the mental problems that we're having right now. I truly believe that they are all tied to the high sugar, high seed oil diet that we are all consuming right now. Okay. So that's my personal opinion, because I see it all the time that when I see someone get healthier and focus on a good diet, which I'll get into a little bit more, but when I focus people on that, that is when I start to see, wow, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I think we're slowly starting to wake up, but I think people are still comfortable with their sugar, with their, sweets, with all these things, right? And it's not bad. I don't want to say that, like, shame on you. You got tricked. That's all that happened, right? You got tricked. And if you guys would just really simply wake up to that fact alone, the whole country would be healthier within a couple of years, right? It's not a long period of time, but that's the fact. Okay. So I want to dive into a couple of these diets, right, before I go any deeper on that. So we have carnivore. Carnivore is obviously a lot of meat, right? You're eating steaks, burgers, chicken, all very meat-based, animal-based. I have done this, and I put a lot of people on this for a specific reason, for a long period of time. And I will tell you the reason why is because it actually is the one that heals the gut the most and the fastest. And that is because of the collagen that comes from all these proteins. And it actually allows the gut to heal faster. And it causes a lot more metabolic syndrome to go down faster. And on top of that, it actually allows, so we all have a lot of parasite infection, right? It's rampant. You can't ignore it. We have to stop ignoring it in this country. We have to stop thinking that parasites only exist outside of this country. They are everywhere. Get over it at this point. Okay. Just going to put that out there. So what I want to say about that is that parasites don't like meat. So when you eat a heavy meat diet, that is what expels them the fastest. Okay. You're welcome, by the way, because, sometimes you just need to throw out the parasite fact. Okay, great. So the point of the carnivore diet is one of two things. Well, one of a few things. I will say, whenever I put people on a carnivore diet, or whenever I make people eat more protein, right, from animal-based products, what I see, and this is proven, it's science proven. There are many people out there. I don't need to go into it. You can look up all the people. There's that guy, Paul Saladino. There's all these people that talk about eating liver, eating beef, eating steaks, all of it, right? You're rude. I can't tell you that, or I can't tell you enough that when you eat more meat, you will expel parasites faster. When you eat more meat, your cognitive function will increase considerably. And when you eat more meat, you sleep better. And it's not like there's no going around that. It's just a fact, right? I've experienced it myself. I know Anna has. I know many people watching have seen that. So if it were me and you were starting out, and the reason why most people go to carnivore is because lots of protein keeps your satiety cues down, right? So when you eat more protein, there are so many benefits of eating a lot of protein. One, when you eat one full meal of protein, you will feel fuller quicker. You will not need to eat as much because there's so much protein that's going into your body, right? And also your brain function increases like you would not believe, especially on the beef, right? When you're eating more red meat, it's the fat that's in the meat that is that's really good for you. Isn't too much of anything not good. Not always, actually. Again, and we're not doing this like for the next 50 years, right? This is what I'm saying. This is the problem. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. There's a time and a place for it. I'm not saying to do this for the rest of your life. What I'm saying to do is do this for a controlled period of time so that your body can heal. Does that make sense? It's not, I'm going to eat red meat for the rest of my life and never have an ounce of chicken ever again, or never eat a piece of fish ever again. That's not what I'm saying. Does that make sense? What I'm saying is carnivore is great for a multitude of healing properties. Okay, that is it. And the reason why it's being pushed so much is because, guys, we need to heal. Our country is the most obese, unhealthy it's ever been in existence. So that is why it's being pushed so hard right now, is because it is the fastest way to get healthy. It really, truly is. Okay. We are, and the sickest. Yes, Anna's correct. And the sickest. So the most obese, the most unhealthy, and the sickest we have ever been in our country's conception. Period. End of story. You can't fight the fact. It's a fact, right? Look in the 50s, right? They looked good for the most part, right? We were healthy, we were fit mentally, physically, all of it. And now look, right? So just saying, that is the reason you have my vote for 2020. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That is the reason why our country is so unhealthy, though. So, guys, carnivore is one of the best ways to completely switch over your health, again, for a short-term period for the biggest gain. Okay? So I'm not saying forever. I'm saying for a short-term period, get the body healing, get the immune system up, get the gut healing, get the brain healing, and then we can start adding more vegetables. We can slowly add in carbohydrates that aren't terrible for you, that don't have glyphosate, that don't have these pesticides and these herbicides in them, okay? Okay, so yes, it is hard to avoid these things, and healthy is expensive, but you can't look at it like that. Being healthy is, and I'm not denying it, I'm just saying you can't look at it like that, right? And I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm saying is you need to look at your health always as the first investment ever, right? Your first investment is always your health, because what comes after your health is success. What comes after your health is you can go to work for a longer period of time. What comes after your health is all of the good stuff, right? So when you put your health first, I'm not saying it's not expensive. I'm just saying when you and again, do this on a gradient, you guys. Like, I think, again, America, let's get real. America, you guys love to play the victim. You guys love to complain about things. I'm telling you, and I'm not guilting anybody. I'm just saying it's an observation. You guys love to complain about things, okay? I'm telling you, and you guys love to go all or nothing, and you love those all or nothing mindsets. I'm just telling you, do things on a slow gradient, do things at your capacity, and do things to where you can handle it, right? When I first started getting healthy, I did things very slowly. I did not, and it's funny because, like, I used to tell people, oh, you got to cut that out. And now I look back and I'm like, that was dumb, because you can't, right? Like, you can't just cut someone's habit that they've been doing for 20 years, just cut it out. They're going to go crazy, right? Slow and steady wins the race, always and forever. And you always got to be ready for it, right? You can't cut the sugar out. You're going to go nuts. You can't just cut it out cold turkey. You're going to go friggin' nuts. There are things that we can do in the office. There are tips and tricks that we have learned that can help you through that sugar craving or help you through that stuff. But the more you try to tackle this, and I've seen it happen, the more you try to tackle this all at once and you go nuts on it, you will feel the effects of the investment. You will feel the effects of the financial investment. You will. But if you go slow and you're like, okay, this week I'm gonna, like, as I see a lot of people that literally go into their fridge and they'll just clean the whole thing out and they're like, oh my God, Matt, this is costing me $5,000. I said, well, what did you do? You shouldn't be doing that. Like, I didn't just suddenly go to the farm and start buying stuff. I didn't just suddenly start getting expensive water filters. No, I saved up for stuff. I looked at things and I went, all right, this month I'm going to invest in that. This next month I'm going to invest in this. Like, don't go crazy. Go slow. Slow it down, y'all. This is my biggest tip for you today is slow it down. Y'all love to go fast, okay? On everything, y'all love to go fast, okay? Dawn says, definitely been reading and monitoring what I'm eating. Guys, a food journal, which is what we preach. And if you don't do a food journal, we will never be able to help you to its fullest capacity. And the reason why I say that is because that is the easiest way. A food journal is the easiest way for you to look at all the junk, not only all the junk you're eating, but ways to save money. When I started doing carnivore, I started cutting out all my vegetables because I was like, every vegetable at points in my life were not working for me, right? Like, they were just not, because of the parasites and all this underlying toxicity. My body couldn't accept anything but protein anyway, right? So I saved hundreds of dollars a week, a month, a year, thousands of dollars a year, because I just wasn't afraid to get tested and I wasn't afraid to figure out all the answers. So the food journal is your biggest friend. It's your best friend, okay? So, all right, so we have carnivore, then we have vegetarian, right? The thing that is great about vegetarian, obviously, is that it's vegetables, right? It's all vegetable based, which is great for you for a short term. Again, are you guys getting the picture here? Short term. You should be interchanging these things, right? And having the meats with the vegetables. And I know some of you are like, oh, but morally, okay, well, that's your moral high ground. I understand. No worries. I'm not here to change you, okay? What I'm here to tell you is that when you are a vegetarian, it depletes your brain function because you have no protein, no animal protein feeding your brain. You don't have the red meat. You don't have the fats helping your brain function, right? That's why when you see a lot of, I hate to say it, but when you see a lot of vegetarians, they are typically very quick to react. They are typically a little bit more charged, and it's because they don't have anything to feed their brain or their gut, right? So they're constant. Again, it's not a judgment. It's just a fact, right? So I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just giving you facts so that you can use it best to your ability, okay? Vegetarianism, for a lot of people, especially in the day and age that we live in, because we're very unhealthy and very sick, right? Vegetarianism is great for people who need to detox their liver, okay? So if you've had a lot of liver issues, that would be a great time, and this would be a great thing. Again, this is where I go, don't just go into a liver cleanse, because, child, you got major problems to help that we need you to help, okay? But if you use that vegetarian profile and that vegetarian system for a short-term period, controlled, guided, you will clean your liver out so fast that your body will actually love the protein that you're about to take in. But the reason why we don't, again, the liver gets clogged up by everything, you guys. You smell, you taste, you drink all the alcohol, you eat the herbicides, you smell the fragrances, you're washing your clothes in Tide, you're doing all these things. Again, guys, I'm just throwing things out that I know. Don't go change all your detergents now, okay? Slow and steady, all right? So, but the point of the vegetarian diet is to cleanse the liver on such a deep level. There are also many other ways to do this, but that's the biggest bang for your buck. So again, now we have carnivore, now we have vegetarianism, okay? I do not enjoy, I will tell you this, I have done vegetarianism once for about a week, and it was a long time ago. I wanted to die. And the reason why is because I couldn't think clearly, because again, brain function down. It's the first thing that you realize and notice. Your brain function goes to complete shit, okay? Sorry for the language if there's any kiddos, but it goes to complete shit, okay? I felt like physically, I was like, wow, I felt really good. My stool was great, all these things. I was pooping great. However, on a lot of other levels, I was not okay, right? I was exhausted all the time. And this is another way, and this is just a way you can kind of determine this. It's kind of funny, a little cheat sheet by your holistic friend here. So when you see someone and they're a vegetarian, touch their muscles, right? They probably don't feel like full. They probably don't feel like, I don't know, super, like they could kill, like, no, they can kill. That's a little aggressive, but like they could take someone down, right? When you eat protein, you're like, right? You have a little strength. You have that gusto, right? What happens in vegetarianism is it actually pulls from the muscle mass. And the reason for that is because your muscles are eating the protein, right? So in order to gain and stay muscular and look muscular, your muscles are actually going to be eating your protein. Do you think that that's good? Because for a long term, that ain't so hot, right? Short term, to clean the liver and get the body on right, and great, sure, awesome. For a long term, not so hot, all right? So that's vegetarianism. Now I'm going to go into the world of keto. All right. Well, first of all, let me backtrack 1 second and talk about carnivore again. So carnivore, a lot of people, what they miss with carnivore is that they don't take in enough salt. And that's the reason why I'm talking about that is because I'm going to bring it into keto as well. When you are eating carnivore, you need salt. You need electrolytes. You need these essential ingredients because these are, people don't realize that sodium and salt are essential nutrients and that you need them. We have been told to fear salt, and that salt causes your arteries to clog. It causes your blood pressure to go, like all these lies that we've been told, and it's just not true, right? Drink a bunch of good salt, good quality. I mean, I'm not telling you to go down Morton's table salt, obviously. That's not good. But good quality Redmond sea salt. We use the line Element, and it's really good to put in your water because it just has magnesium, which helps to keep, it has a calming factor to it. Obviously, potassium, all those things work together to give you energy, right? Salt gives you and your body energy, and there are salt pathways in your entire body. So what happened when the salt came out and when they were like, oh, we're going to do everything no salt? What happened was all the organs started to shut down because there are literally salt pathways in every organ. And when your body's not taking in any salt, your energy is going to go completely crap, right? It's going to crap out. You're going to feel pretty shitty. Okay. So, but going into keto now, keto is high fat, pretty good amount of protein, right? But like no carb. And I'm talking less than like 10 grams of carbs, if not less, even like 5 grams of carbs. The problem with, again, with the keto diet is that many people don't have a gallbladder, or many people can't because of the toxicity, the overwhelming toxicity. Are you guys starting to get this? Because of the overwhelming toxicity in the body, that's why the body can't take the keto. And that's why when a lot of people eat the keto, they can only do it for so long before they feel starving. Okay. You're done. You're rude. What about gain? No gain. I'm dead. But the reason why so many people have like the keto flu and get those issues is because they're not supporting themselves with other nutrients like salt and potassium and minerals and vitamins, like essential vitamins. Like you're not getting a lot of stuff, unfortunately, with keto. Keto is great for weight loss because it's putting you into this fasting space, which I'll talk about in a second, but it's putting you into this fasting state, which again is great, but you do need protein, right? If you just eat fat all day, like yikes. No, gain is not good for you. None of those commercial things are good for you. I'm sorry. They are all full of chemicals. If anything, I'll just quickly put actually, Anna, answer that please, just so I can stay on track. So what I will tell you with keto is that it's great. I've done all of these diets and they all worked. They all have their benefit. And the keto diet is one of the biggest ways, again, like carnivore, to lose weight. But again, these are all things to help your weight and your metabolic flexibility, right? That's the whole point of them. So don't be on any of these diets for a prolonged time because, and we can, again, this is something that we can test in-house, is your metabolic flexibility. Can you take in a new nutrient? Sure, let's test it. Let's see, right? But if you're just eating the same thing all day, every day, your body will begin to look at these things eventually as toxicity. So just remember that, okay? I'm gonna take a quick sip of water because I'm drying out. Much better. That's Mountain Valley, by the way. Great water. Actually, it's from my distiller, but now don't go look at distillers. Everyone relax, breathe. There is salt in that water, girl. How'd you know? Don't everyone go buy a filter. Don't. Okay. Don't ask me about filters. We're talking about diets. All right. So now I've covered carnivore, vegetarian, and then I just covered keto. Now I'm going to go a little into fasting. This is a big one. Okay. Ready? Take a deep breath. Fasting is stressful. Did you hear me? Fasting is stressful. And the reason why I say that is because it is a stress to your system. So if you're someone who is having trouble, you're not eating enough, or you get very stressed in the beginning of the day and you don't eat a lot because of the stress, and you get in the middle of your day and you're still not eating because you're still stressed, and then you get home and you eat a huge meal because it's the only time that you can calm down, fasting is not for you, okay? Fasting puts stress on your system because your body needs fuel, okay? Fasting has a time and a place, just like every other diet that I've just explained. However, if you fast for too long, and guys, trust me, I used to fast a lot. I was like the king of biohacking. I loved fasting. It was great. But I was so stressed out with my job and with work and with running a business that I didn't even realize, Matt, you're not eating enough. And I would be tired all the time. And I would be exhausted by the end of the day and couldn't sleep, couldn't calm down my brain. And then I started to research and I started to get educated and I went to clinical training and I went to nutrition, all these things. And they were like, fasting is great, but if you're really stressed, not so great for you. And then it woke me up and I was like, okay, well, shit, that sucks. Cause I fast till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I felt like I'm not hungry, but really it was just my body was so stressed out. Now I'm going to tell you something that is going to, so obviously some of you know that I just went on a trip to Italy. Best trip ever, and I'll explain about that in a little bit, maybe later if I have time. But when I came home, I was like, I am starving, and I couldn't figure out why. I know, like, obviously the time difference, obviously all that stuff, yes. But then I thought about it a little deeper because I'm like, it's been about a week and a half. You think, you should be kind of over that by now. I'm getting there, but I'm still the sleep stuff's still a little rough. But you know what I realized? I was like, I would wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I would eat 3 meals a day, couldn't get enough food in. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, the reason why is because I'm not stressed. So now my body is like, eat, bruh. Eat. And I'm eating and I'm like, I could eat more. And I'm not gaining weight. And I feel great. And I sleep like a baby. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you're fasting and you're not eating till 2, just be sure that you're fasting for the right reason, right? If you're fasting because you just want to give your digestive system a break, or you're fasting because maybe you ate a little too much sugar, or you're fasting because you drank too much alcohol, or you're fasting for the right reason, that's one thing. But if you're fasting because you're like, I don't need to eat, I feel great, you're probably lying. Because I could tell you I was fasting and I was exhausted. And then I started eating. Ask Anna. I'm like, dude, I could eat 3 cows today. I was so hungry. Okay. So when I tell you, I think fasting, again, has its time and its place, just like everything else. However, it made me realize how stressed I was. I did not realize how stressed out I was. It made me realize a lot about myself. So just putting that out there. So fasting to me is, again, it's you ate too much. You want to give your digestive system a break. You aren't, you're readjusting your diet, or you are, you're kind of going into the more carnivore or keto diet, and you just want to kind of your body is genuinely not hungry. Fine, right? But we're trying to help you guys realize what, like hunger cues actually look and feel like. We're trying to show you what satiety feels like and help you get your health back not obviously by yourself, obviously with us, but we're trying to help you realize that this isn't as hard as the diet industry and the fitness industry has made it to seem. Okay. Any questions on those diets? Because those are like the real big ones. And I just want to make sure before I get into proteins and things like that as to why you need all these things and how they will help you going forward. Does anybody have any questions before I go forward? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Okay. So, protein. Guys, you need protein. You aren't eating enough. And if you think you're eating enough, you need more. And the reason why is because, one, your body is very deficient in it because you eat too much sugar. You're welcome. Okay. Your body is a full-on sugarholic, alcoholic body, right? Your body wasn't built on grass. Your body was built on protein, okay? That's what your body was built on. So this is a meat body. It's not a broccoli body, okay? So, just make sure that you're eating enough protein throughout your day. And sometimes I tell people, eat 3 meals of protein a day. If you're someone that needs to eat more, or that you need to snack, or that like you need to graze, just make sure you're eating protein throughout your day to give you brain function so that you can sleep. I guarantee you eat more protein, you drink more of this stuff, you will watch your hunger cues go down. You will watch your sugar cravings go down. And if you feel like you still are, again, if you feel like you're still getting that sugar craving, you probably got parasites. You probably got some deep down, like we got to get some stuff out of the gut, right? But for the most part, if you are suffering with sugar like you can't cut the sugar, you can't cut the junk food, eat more protein. Your body is dying of protein and dying of salt, okay? That is the biggest thing I will tell you and the biggest hack to tell you, okay? Let's see. You need fat because your entire body is made of protein, water, and fat, okay? You need fats, healthy fats, not seed oils. Those crush your brain, they crush your gut, right? You need things like good, healthy, grass-fed butter, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. Again, these are things to start adding into your pantry. So when you get rid of one bad one, replace it with a good one, right? Like just invest in it. You will thank me later. And it's there, like you will realize when you start cooking, you're like, oh my God, this is so good. I could eat the whole thing. Like, yeah, you probably will, right? When you cook things in butter, butter makes everything taste good. We all know that, right? So, if you just remember you are the reason why I'm trying to talk about all of these diets is to deprogram you from the label of food being good and bad, or one diet being good over the other. They all have structure, they all have good foundation, they all have a time and a place. The biggest thing I will tell you is protein, protein, protein. And the reason why is because, again, we are high laden with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and seed oils. So until you guys can cut that junk, you got to eat more protein and you got to drink more water with salt in it to cut the cravings, okay? That's the easiest way to do that, right? Tell your loved ones, it's the easiest hack. Promise you, you will love me forever, just like I love me. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. So how do I do this, right? And I will tell you, this week I realized it myself, is preparation is key. So if you don't prepare your meals, if you do not have if you don't prepare yourself at the beginning of the week for your week of food, you will fail. When you do prepare, you will see, wow, I'm eating more. I feel energetic. You're probably going to lose weight because your body's now not starving to death, especially if you're detoxing and especially if you're supporting your system. You will feel 10 times better, okay? Preparation is key to a healthy longevity of life, okay? Let's see here. If you feel like you're hitting a plateau in any reason or for any reason, it's probably an underlying toxicity affecting your body, right? So don't blame food. Many people always blame food, and it's not. I mean, a lot of times, yes, it can be food. I'm not denying that it is food related, but the main reason why people aren't losing weight, or why you're not seeing something budge, or if an issue that you have had for a long period of time isn't budging, it's probably because you have an underlying either immune issue happening, an underlying toxicity with food, a chemical, a metal, lots of things happening that are keeping you from moving to the next level. So this is another reason why we do food journaling and talk about food journaling, is also to put that in your food journal to tell, so that next time you come visit or next time you have an appointment, we can go, hey, what's this? Like, did you notice something? That's why we do it, so that you don't normalize it, okay? Because normalizing symptoms, we don't look at symptoms are what the medical world has deemed is your body doesn't work. Your body works magically and it works perfectly. You just need to let it work, okay? Let's see. So Okay, so I've gotten this. It's a little off topic with the whole diet thing, but I thought I would talk about it just because I think it's kind of important. So a lot of people come into us and they start to ask us about vitamins, right? Vitamins are essential to your healing process. And now that we've added standard process, which is so awesome, we're so excited. We're already seeing huge results with it. Now that we've added standard process in, standard process is the top dog in the world as far as I'm concerned when it comes to organic farming and organic supplementation. The stuff that you find at CVS is full synthetic. You will not, there's only one vitamin that I know of, and I'm not going to tell you because you're going to, like America does, you're going to run out and buy it and be, so I'm not even going to tell you, but there's one vitamin that is great for specific cases, and that's all I'm going to leave it at, right? However, for the most part, and for 99.999% of every other case and every other situation, you need organic, you need like the top quality, which is what we're all about, top quality supplements that work for the longest amount of time. Okay. So if you're in, don't even think about buying stuff at a GNC. Listen, I'm not here to bash. I'm just saying I've done them all. They are synthetic. They are full of chemicals. Okay. All of them, unfortunately. So, quick overhaul of what we just kind of discussed is when you start cutting out processed food, you're going to feel better inevitably, right? You will. That is a fact. So don't be surprised when you're like, wow, I feel good. It must be the fact that I changed my diet. It must be the fact that I'm, getting all this stuff out of my body. You are correct. But don't be surprised when, you add in the cake because you're like, I just need the cake. I just need it. Don't be surprised when you start to not feel so great because all these things, the sugar especially, sugar is the biggest reason for anything to go south. Anything. So if you're feeling great and you want to stay feeling great, stop eating sugar. It's the number one biggest problem in our country. Okay. Like I said, if you're having trouble with the sugar, eat a little bit more consistently throughout your day. If you are a stressed out person, do not fast and I would tell you that's the biggest thing that we need to try to mitigate in your life and to help you overcome is a high stress. Obviously, stress is still going to be there because you would be inhumane if you didn't have a little stress. But it's this high level of stress that we need to start to bring down so that you can actually eat. Okay. Okay. We're almost there. Go slow. That is I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again because I feel like it needs repeating. You guys are waking up to a lot of corruption in your food system. You guys are waking up to a lot of pesticides, a lot of things in your reality. Like I'm all about all these videos that are exposing food systems, that are exposing all these things. I'm all about it. The problem, in my opinion, is that it's general information and people go, because we are Americans, we go all or nothing because it's what we were taught for the most part, right? So nobody knows how to go slow because what do we want? We want quick. We want magic pills. We want something to fix us. We don't want to give things time. Many of you have been dealing with chronic, myself included. Many of you have been dealing with chronic, not acute, chronic problems. Chronic problems don't go away in 2 months. Chronic problems don't go away sometimes for a year. Sometimes it takes 2 years. Sometimes it takes 3 years. We are in holistic healing for the long haul. Okay. So in general, healing is a journey. It is not a destination. So if you continue to look at healing as, oh, got that, now I'm done. Okay. That's one way to look at it. I look at it as we are lifetimers, right? We are people who are looking to stay healthy, to heal our families, to have a healthy kids, healthy children, to take our legacies on to another level and to another generation. But this is where you need to not be all or nothing. And you just need to remember that your health is the most important thing on the planet. Okay. Your temple is the most important thing on the planet. When you get the temple right, you're going to have a better connection. You're going to bring in more money. You're going to feel better. When you feel better, you do better. You look better. You make more. That's a fact. I see it every day of my life. Okay. People are like, I got a job promotion. wow, that's great. And then what happens? They'll either say, oh, okay, I'm done. And then what happens? They stop making money because they stopped caring about themselves, right? This is the biggest thing, that when you start taking care of yourself, and I'm not just saying this to say it, I'm saying it because I see it all the time. I see it in myself. I see it in my family. They start taking care of themselves, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm not putting up with that anymore. I'm going to get a good job, a job that I love. And what happens when you love what you do? You don't want to not work because you feel great. It's pretty obvious. Okay. All right. So go slow. That's the healthy approach. Going slow and steady, like Colleen said earlier, slow and steady wins the race. Be the tortoise, not the hare. Okay. So I'm going to share a little bit about. So when I went to Italy, I realized that one, I'm just going to say this, we are very ungrateful people. They live, and I'm not saying all of us, so relax. I'm just saying in general, on a general note, we are a very ungrateful society. We want things quick. We want them now. We're very selfish. We're very, everything is very me all the time. Okay. Guys, it's not always all about you. That's, it's just not. So the more you are secure in yourself, the more you give to others, the more you are excited about life. Like they out there, guys, they and my friend, I think my friend Gina's watching too. She just went to Greece, and they just live, guys. Like they work to have a good life. They work, and again, I'm all about making money. I'm all about that stuff, but they work to have a good life. They work to stay healthy. They work to eat well. They work to manage their land well. They work for all that, right? We don't realize the luxuries that we have here, right? Like we just don't. So if there's anything I can tell you, it's and also I ate everything out there. Like I wasn't afraid of eating much out there. I ate pizza, I ate gelato, I ate pasta. Now I wouldn't eat that all day long if I lived there, obviously, but I was on vacation, right? But the point I'm saying is I was out there for 2 weeks, and not once was I like, oh my God, I want to die. Like my stomach is killing me. I never once felt like that, right? Some people are obviously more sensitive and what have you, but I also did take my supplements every day, so that also helped. But what I'm saying is, look at the difference, right? If I can go out there and eat everything, and then I come back here and they're the most, they also walk everywhere. Y'all don't exercise, right? We need to start exercising, not more. We just need to exercise. You need to start moving your body and get off the couch, and you need to stop watching crap. Okay. So, but what I'm telling you is that the reason for the confusion and why a lot of people have suffered with weight, and why a lot of people have suffered with infertility and all these things, it's not that your body doesn't work, guys. It's that they have been poisoning you for probably 60 to 70 years, right? Like a long time you've been poisoned. So I know that may be hard to hear, and I don't mean to like punch you with that, but it's just the truth. And I'm here to give you as not invasive and not attack truth as much as I can. Okay. But you have been poisoned on a very, very cellular level. And that is why you don't feel the motivation that you once did, or that is why you've never felt like you could get over that hump, or why you say, oh, my mom had this predisposition and so do I. It's like, well, again, your mom can give you things. Your mom gave you things at birth. Your mom passed parasites onto you. Your mom passed heavy metals onto you. Your mom literally passed all these things onto your dad, passed these things onto you at conception. At the moment of your conception, they literally passed these things onto you. Trauma, emotional trauma. Like, guys, these things are very real, right? So don't for 1 second just blame yourself and blame the fact that your body doesn't work. That's not true. Like, it's just not. Like, I've seen it. I've seen people conquer allergies. I've seen people conquer being damaged in a lot of ways in terms of health ways, right? I've seen a lot of people come off of medication after we did a lot of like emotional work with them. I've seen a lot of stuff happen. So I just want you to remember and realize that you think, and you've been told and you've been taught and you've been brainwashed that food is your enemy. Food is not the enemy. Food is here to nourish you. Food is here to help you. However, our food system currently is not great, right? I will tell you, we are starting to get into, and it's been out there for a while since I've been part of holistic healing for almost 10 years, if not longer, is regenerative farming. Look for regenerative farming, right? They are out there. We have partnered with many farms in the area that do work for us, or not work for us, but work with us to get you guys quality proteins, okay? Invest in them. Our farmers need our help, okay? So just remember that. It's not all about like everything is expensive. We are, the thing that you guys need to, I should have said this in my talk earlier, but the reason why food is so expensive is that we have sold everything out to China, right? All of our food, all of our manufacturing, most of it anyway, 90% of it is not in the United States. Everything is manufactured there and then it's brought over here. That's why it was so cheap, and why bad food is cheap. It's because it's not good for you. It's coming from a completely different country. It's been poisoned on many levels and manufactured and industrialized. So yeah, when you guys are trying to get healthy here, I'm going to be real with you. Like, it is a little bit more expensive, but it's because we're trying, like my mission is trying to bring back health to our country and our community and our area, right? That's not easy. And it costs money to do that. So you guys have to stop thinking about everything. I'm not saying that the economy doesn't suck. I'm just saying the reason why it's hard is because we're trying to literally revitalize an entire country, a community, a nation, what's it called? I can't think of the term. Oh my gosh, it's just left my mind. A county, right? We're trying to lift all that up, and that takes money to do, right? So if you want to bring back things to the States, if you guys want to start bringing back health and farms and gardens and all these things, like, these things cost money. It's not cheap. So I will say standard process, all these new things that we're bringing in are, for the quality of the supplement and for the quality of what you're getting, are unmatched and affordable, more than I've ever seen. So we are looking for those ways. Just realize that, okay? But if there's one thing I can tell you, that's the reason why things are so expensive, is because when we sold things out to China like 20, 30 years ago, again, it's just a fact. You can look it up for yourself. I did the work, but you can look it up. It's all in executive order. It's all over there, right? So just look it up, okay? We sold a lot of things out to them, and that's why it's so hard to bring it back, okay? Just saying. So anyway, my point in saying all that is that this is about healing and health. This is about bringing your health back, and that takes work. So don't for one second think that this is going to be easy all the time, because it's not. But I am saying it's worth it. I'm saying to stay slow, stay guided, because we're here to help you. And again, when it comes to diets, you have carnivore, keto, vegetarian, fasting. You have the restrictive diet, which a lot of bodybuilders and fitness people are into. All of these things have a time and a place. If there's one thing that you've learned from today, I hope it is that all of these things work. However, they all have a time and a place in your life. They all have a time and a place in your healing process, and we will help guide you through that. We have a seminar coming up on October 6th. We have a great promotion coming up, which we are excited to share with you. And it will entail discounts for both current clients and future clients. And if you guys want to book an appointment with us to get healthy or refer this out and help other people get healthy, please, Nicole, October 6th, it's going to be at 11 o'clock. It's a Sunday. Put it in your schedule, put it all over your schedule, and just make sure it's there, because we're excited about it. It's going to be great. And it is a referral, so you can bring a friend. Anna's going to actually be sending out emails about that. So, you'll get reminders over time and over the next couple of weeks about that. But if you do have questions, if you do want to set up an appointment, go to honoryourhealth.life. Anna can put it in the comments. And it is a great time, guys. Non-invasive testing, and we get to the bottom of a lot of issues. So if anyone's watching that is on the fence, if anyone's watching that is a referral from a client that is currently watching with us, thank you for joining us. To my current clients, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you wanting to continue to get educated. That is the biggest way that we're going to heal this country and heal this community and get people on track to feeling amazing. That is our goal, is to feeling amazing, feeling awesome, healing our families, having families that are healthy for generations to come. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will have more of these. If you guys enjoyed it, let us know if you did. And peace and love to you all. And I'll see you soon. Bye.